So I'm about to get slammed by yet another hurricane, and I'm in the process of completely evacuating out of my place. So I didn't have time to whip up a nice diagram for today's video. Hopefully you guys understand. But I still wanted to bring you guys an important principle in today's video nonetheless. And it really is just about the principle of what everyone is actually doing behind the scenes to make money online. Because contrary to what everyone will tell you or what you probably believe, there isn't some magic bullet that's going to make you a ton of money online that you're going to stumble across and it's just going to like make you rich all of a sudden. And the people making a ton of money online don't actually know that much more, or they don't like know some magic secrets that you don't. Finding success online really comes down to just three main things. And these three things are actually really easy to understand, but the problem is they're not flashy at all. So most people don't talk about these things on YouTube because they're trying to get views and they're trying to get course sales and coaching sales. But I don't give a fuck about that. So I'm going to bring these to you guys in this video. And I guarantee this is what everyone making a ton of money online is doing behind the scenes. So if you actually want to find some success and you actually want to make money online, just listen to the next 10 minutes or so, and this should hopefully change your life. And I want to put out a massive disclaimer first, because the three things that I'm going to reveal to you in this video will not help you make money today. They will not help you make money tomorrow, or even in the next week, or probably even in the next month. But I guarantee if you follow these three principles and you start applying them from today, every single day, you will make money in the next few months rather than fail like 90% of other entrepreneurs do. And these things aren't attractive, they aren't sexy, but they actually work. And this is why nobody talks about them. And therefore, everyone is so short-term minded. They're just trying to think, what can I do to make money now? What secret business model can I do? And that's why most people just fail over and over, and they just jump from business model to business model, right? So the first principle is that you have to build an unbreakable chain of beliefs. Really, the only difference between people who win and people who lose is the people who win view losing as it doesn't even exist. In reality, the only way to lose is if they quit, and then they just don't quit, so they always win. Me and my roommates have a phrase that we always use when we talk to each other. We all run online businesses, and it's the simple phrase that you either win or you learn, right? So let's just say you start a new business model. You either win and it works for you, or you learn, and then when you go to the next business model, now there's a higher likelihood that you win. And you just keep doing this under the constraint that you don't give up, you will eventually win. That's just how it works. And when it comes to business, mindset is the most important thing. The reality is you're probably looking for the best business model, or the best outreach method, or the best sales script to use, or like some secret or hack or whatever. But the reality is mindset is the most important thing. And about 80% of business success is attributed to mindset, while only 20% is attributed to more of the tactical stuff, right? So for example, if you were somebody with a shitty mindset and you go in and try a business model, well, it's very common that you would go in and within like 1 or 2 weeks just jump to the next business model. Whereas somebody with the right mindset, they might actually go in and give the business model the time it needs, and then as a byproduct they just give it like an extra 2 weeks, and they find success with it while you didn't, because you had a shitty mindset. Okay. The second principle is going to be focus on leveling up your character. And so we have an analogy here. For anybody who is watching this video who's ever played video games, right? Like, you don't just go in and just face the final boss of the game right away, whatever game you're playing, right? You have to level up your character first by taking on smaller bosses, defeating them, getting rewards, getting XP, leveling up, and then getting to the point where you can eventually take on the final boss. And it's the same exact thing in business. You need to start small and build skills and level up. And the reality is that most business models that people talk about are too difficult for beginners. They're business models that involve 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 different skill sets, all required to make that business model work, like SMMA, dropshipping, and much, much more. And so as a byproduct, you as a beginner, you go into that business model and you try it, and most people fail because you're trying to fight the final boss when you're only level 1. What you need to do instead is you need to focus on building one small skill. And then you skill stack from there. And this is what most people don't tell you, because they sell you on a business model rather than sell you on learning a skill. The people making $100,000 per month right now might look stupid, but the harsh reality is that they've just been playing this game way longer than you have, and they've leveled up, and they have skills, knowledge, and experience that you currently don't. And the same thing as people making 10K per month. Maybe they haven't played the game as long as the people making 100K per month, but they're at 10K per month because they've built skills, they have experience, and they have knowledge that you simply just don't have right now around things like creating content, networking, sales and marketing, discipline, focus, and much, much more. Again, 90% of people in the make money online space, and it's my goal to fix this, but 90% of beginners quit because they're trying to fight like a level 100 dragon with no weapons or armor. They try all these complicated business models, or they like just try and start their own business when they don't know what they're doing. And then they go into it, and of course they fail, because you have to basically deal with like 6 to 8 different things all at the same time. Whereas if you just started with one, you focus on building a primary skill, you do that for like 6 to 12 months and you get really, really good at that. You can start making 5 to 10K per month just with that primary skill. Then on top of that, you add in the next skill as like a secondary skill. Now your wealth is increasing, and then you start stacking more and more and more, right? Like, so for me, I started with sales. I did sales for about a year and a half. I got pretty good at it. And then as I was helping my business partner grow, while I was doing appointment setting and closing, I started helping him as well with marketing. So that was the second skill that I acquired after sales. And I focused on helping and getting better with marketing, learning things like copywriting, learning things like ads, learning things like creating content. And now I'm stacking more and more skills as I'm starting to build my own business and things like that. So this is what you need to do. And this is how you can make success inevitable, by just going through the process, okay? And then the third principle that I want to bring to you guys is creating rather than consuming. Essentially, from what I've seen, all successful entrepreneurs at some point have to learn to create rather than consume, and they also have to stop themselves from consuming content for a short amount of time. Because basically, the way that I want you to think about it is you have a limited amount of stamina when it comes to either creating or consuming. So let's just say you have 4 hours a day of creating or consuming. If you consume for those 4 hours, then you have no energy to create. But if you create for those 4 hours, then you have no energy to consume. And so all successful entrepreneurs, from what I've seen, that are big on social media, which most are, they have intentionally stopped consuming or heavily decreased the amount that they usually consume of content and media and news and whatnot, to focus instead on just creating content. And this doesn't even just apply to content, but also this helps with ideas, daily routines. This helps you think more by just not constantly stimulating your brain to help you make more money, stand out in your outreach, etc. You will not learn, or you will not win this game if you can't learn to be creative in some sort of way. And the way to be creative is by letting your brain actually think. And when you're constantly stimulating yourself by consuming content, you don't actually give yourself time to even think about stuff. And I've seen a ton of people who join courses as well, and they just consume. So they'll watch course content for like 2 hours, and then they'll go watch Netflix. And so all of the 2 hours of work that they just did consuming good material has now been washed up because they just started consuming other stuff, and they didn't give their brain actually time to like process the information. So some tactical things that you can do: don't go to bed on your phone, don't listen to music in the car. And yes, these things are boring, but they actually allow your brain to think, and that's what you need to be successful. And once you consume the base level of knowledge to be successful, put on tunnel vision goggles. Like, once you find the right business model and you're going all in on it, just stay tunnel vision. Stop, like, if you found a business model that you think will work and you're going all in on it and you're actively trying to pursue it, stop watching videos from other people talking about other business models. Like, that's the dumbest thing that you can do. Put on tunnel vision, tune everything else out, and just stay focused on the path for at least a couple months. And so, just to kind of summarize, If you follow these things, it will be impossible to fail, because everyone loves to focus on the money, but the money is only a byproduct of focusing on these three things and becoming the person worthy of making money. If you want to make 10K per month, you have to first become the person worthy of making 10K per month, and then like 1 or 2 months after that, you'll make the 10K per month. Think about it. How can somebody who's focusing on these 3 principles ever fail? If they always believe it will work, you better believe they'll keep waking up every single day and working, because they know someday it will work out. If they focus on keep leveling up every single day, once they acquire a base level of skills, they will always know how to make baseline money of how to make money online. And nobody knows how to think on their own anymore because they're constantly brainwashed by the media. So if you can learn how to create and stand out and be different and let your brain actually think, opportunities will basically come to you. And if you do these 3 things all at the same time, you will become a successful entrepreneur and you will become indestructible. So I know this isn't like a step-by-step advice that I usually give, but again, I gotta run before I get washed up in 170 mile per hour winds. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys are looking for one-on-one coaching, you guys can book a call for me when I'm free and safe from this hurricane. And you and I can jump on a phone conversation to see if I can actually even help you based on where you're at, because there's a good chance maybe I can't help you. And so the call is a great opportunity. I'm not going to like shove something down your throat. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to get a good idea of where you're at right now, and then also where you want to get to. And then if it makes sense, I'll run you through what I do and how I can help. Or if you have any questions, follow me on Instagram and shoot me over a message and we can stay in touch on there. But other than that, you guys take care, stay safe, and have a great rest of your day.